Varazdat Lalayan from Armenia on the right-hand side of our screen. Minasyan next to him. And representing the independent nations, we have Edward Ziazulin, of course formerly competed for Belarus. The second of the two Armenians, Simon Martirosyan, previously a 109, still holds a world record in that category. Then we have Ayat Sharifi from Iran, again one of two Iranians. The two Iranians will be battling out to find out who ranks highest in the Olympic rankings. Rustam Jangabayev from Uzbekistan, who returned to international competition earlier this year. Next up, the strongest man in weightlifting history, holder of the all-time world records, 225 snatch, 267 clean check, 492 total. And then Ali Davoudi, an ex-junior world record holder, one of the strongest men in Asia, certainly an athlete who can hopefully get up towards that 200 kilo mark in the snatch. 192. His best is 197. He's hit that twice now in competition.
Strong snatch.
Yeah.
Just walking around a little bit, just slightly off balance there.
Yeah, a little bit of movement with the bar overhead, but he got his feet together and he got the three white lights. He's a quick lifter. Yeah, he really throws himself under that bar. But that's standard Iranian movement.
Yeah, you know, the Iranians have always had I mean, they have a legacy of great lifting basically all throughout the weight classes, particularly notably supers. I mean, they have a rich history of some very good supers. Badad Salimi, Ali Hosseini, Varazdat.
Bahadur Moulay was, of course, one who we thought would be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And now these two. You know, in some ways, Ali Davoudi was, you know, not to put a knock on his career, he's a very, very good athlete, but almost the hype that was given to him when he first turned up, particularly the weights that he was hitting at a younger age, made you really think that Davoudi was going to be, you know, a 210 plus, 260 plus kind of lifter, but that's not quite worked out. His Simon Martirosyan, this is actually a very big lift for him.
Huge opener for him.
His best snatch in this category is 195. He did make 199 for a world record at 109 once, but I saw him miss this in the training hall, so this is pretty heavy.
Wow.
Okay.
This is a very, very solid snatching session already.
Well, he wants to hit 200 because he's never done it in his career.
This would be the time to do it. He looks to be in shape for it. I mean,
he'll just take 2 attempts there.
Yeah. That's great. You know, we haven't seen him in that kind of shape for a while.
Well, Sharifi's put in 200 for his second attempt at 8 kilo jump. It's unlikely, but we could see every athlete snatch 200.
That's very possible. That would be the best super snatch session ever.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost there. We've got one more under 200 then.
And then we're there.
Yeah, assuming Davoudi makes this and takes the jump.
That's quite the assumption.
That
Look at the size of this man.
Wild. Yeah, I mean, in a session of giants, Ali Davoudi stands maybe a head over everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Little hop back.
Yeah, he's just got a bit of timing issue there at the top of the pole. He gets to his hips well, but he just doesn't stay on the ground long enough. He doesn't quite get that finish. And so while the bar is moving, he just doesn't really make those snatches sometimes. You know, the question now is, does he just bump to 200 for the rest?
I certainly hope so.
For our own selfish reasons, I think we want to see everyone doing 200 or more.
So we do actually have access to the body weights. You mentioned that Ali Davoudi might be above the rest. He's actually 870 grams shy of Lasha. He weighs 176.5.
Svelte.
Lasha's 177.37. It's actually on the closing in on the higher end for Lasha. I think 184 is the most we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's not quite at the peak, but that's up there.
The lightest, of course, Simon Martirosyan, 130. Worth a note, Rustam Jangabayev did not intend to withdraw. He actually was training in the training hall a few days ago. We filmed him snatch up to 180, clinch up to 220. Then in the background just now, he warmed up to 160 kilos in the snatch, and then he withdrew. So he must have hurt himself.
Oh, that's too bad.
While warming up, which might even have thrown some of the time in for these earlier athletes.
That's it.
Oh,
so much better.
The height that he pulls that bar to.
Wow.
The speed of the turnover. So, 4 attempts in, and I think we're about the low 200.
This is, nope. We see someone drop to 199
Sharifi.
here. Sharifi
99? 99?
An odd attempt.
Oh.
You know, who takes 199?
Who, you know, other than, well, Martirosyan took 199 back in 2019, but it was a world record.
That's a different story in that weight class.
He held that world record for a while.
199. He's denying us the thing that we're really hoping for.
Well, if he makes it, then I hope he goes 200 and no more.
Yeah.
I want to see 200 from everyone.
I don't think we've willed for an attempt as much as we will for him to make this 199 than 200.
Yeah, he is going to come out for it. This is only Sharifi's 5th international, but it's his 3rd senior world champs. He's made 197 2 times. He looks to now get a new personal best. Won the Asian Junior Championships in 2020. 23 years of age, this man. He might be doing this to beat the Iraqi snatch from the B session of 198. That could be the motivation here.
Yeah, very true.
Great speed. Oh.
Yeah, he leaves that a little forward. Very similar to Davuti. They both are just a little bit rushed in the pull.
He might bump up a kilo now.
I think
to get some rest. Because that would bring out Edward Ziazulin.
Yeah, that actually might have been a very smart attempt there. Like you said, he would have gotten ahead of the B session, but also now the 200 kilos.
Yeah, we saw a junior world record snatch in that B session from Rubayawe from Iraq, 198 kilos. He went 3 for 3, 85, 90, 98. Made an opening clean and jerk, and then unfortunately had to get stretchered off after injury. Yeah. But 419
we're at 200 now.
Yeah, we're at 200, and every athlete still has an attempt.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It could still happen.
5 attempts in, and we're at 200 kilos.
It's like a royal flush of weightlifting. I don't know if there's a straight. I don't know. There's got to be a term for it. Here comes Edward Ziazulin now. His first international was back in 2017. Best snatch is 206 kilos. He did that in Uzbekistan 2021 at the World Championships. Very powerful athlete.
Oh, so smooth.
Oh my word. And there we go. I mean, there could have been a bit of movement. Yeah.
Yeah, the elbow. They're playing the challenge card right now.
Interesting. Let's see how that challenge. See how it goes. Simone will have to sit and wait. So the jury are watching it now. We have access to a screen inside the venue, so we can see what they're watching.
Martirosyan there.
I think there's a bit of movement in his left elbow, unfortunately. Maybe even his right.
Just a tiny bit late, maybe.
It's so minor.
Yeah, at the size.
Oh, we just got to give these. We've got to start giving these lifts.
Wow.
You know, they're deliberating it. They've given the answer. I can't read the body language. I think it's a no. It's a no lift still, but we'll see. That's going to get passed back to the speaker.
Yeah, they're taking it from him.
And keep that as a no lift. That's a shame. 200 kilos. He looks strong enough to make it there.
Audible boos from the audience now.
I don't mind seeing that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not booing the athletes, you know,
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of audience participation.
Well, here is Martirosyan, 200 kilos. He has never done this in competition. This is a huge lift for him.
He has won, you know, basically everything that you can win in this sport except the Olympic Games. Twice he's placed second, twice to an Uzbek lifter. But he's held world records in every single lift. World champion.
Oh, and he does
and
it.
he finally,
Wow.
Simon Martirosyan makes 200 kilos. A huge milestone
That
in
is
the man's
so
career.
exciting to watch. He is just a fun lifter to watch. 200 kilos finally after so many years.
I mean, ever since that training hall video emerged of him doing a 210 hang snatch, maybe 4 years ago, we've all been waiting for it to happen in competition, and finally.
Well, that looked like there's a room for more as well.
Yeah.
Do we see 203, 205?
Yeah. 203 feels like about the right weight, but he might want to get those yellows on. That might be the next milestone.
He's put in for 205.
201 for Ziazulin.
Yep, smart move.
That's one athlete down at 200. 6 to go.
Slight press out on his first, but he was very smooth, very strong, just a little bit off timing. 201.
Oh, it's a press out again.
Same thing again.
Oh, no.
You know, he's
come on.
Got such great positioning and technique. He's just a little bit light with that left arm.
He's going to be in an interesting situation where how many athletes have made all lifts at 200 kilos or more?
And
not many.
And been given reds on all of them.
And then he gets reds on them all. Like, he was this close to.
I mean, how many?
Oh, look at that elbow.
How many 200 kilo press outs have we seen in the snatch?
Not many.
That's a shame. That little bit of elbow unlock there.
Hopefully we can see him come back and
he's
make it.
He's in a rough spot here too, because if he calls for a 202, it just does that same thing of creeping up, and otherwise he's got just a minute and 47 seconds left.
What would you do? You know, these are big guys.
It's a tough one. I mean, yeah, the more rest. I mean, he's moving the bar well.
Yeah.
I would imagine he might take a 202 here.
Yeah, I don't believe the kilo is going to do
He can't
anything.
possibly feel it.
No.
But, you know, I mean, every one of these athletes is very well aware of the timing, you know, and they train for that. We see a lot of them moving at a pace in the training hall that's appropriate for what the session's going to bring. Lasha made those 3 210-kilo snatches. He didn't wait a huge amount of time between them as well.
Speaking of which, let's take a look into the back room.
Yeah, he's going to repeat this.
We've seen Lasha double 140. He made 160. Apparently, George Yasinidze was angry in the back room that Edouard Ziazulin got no lifted with that.
Yeah.
Minasyan 180. Here we go. This to stay in the game. He stood up with 200 and 201. It was called for a press out on both lifts.
Oh,
that's the one.
Yep. Wow.
It could happen. That's 2 athletes now
Phenomenal.
at 200.
That's a shame. You know, we probably missed out on him taking a shot at, I would guess, over 205 for sure. That's a man who can snatch.
Now this is the one that's going to worry me. If we're ever going to see every athlete in the field make 200 kilos or more, it comes down to the 2 Iranians. The rest of them could do it.
Yeah, Sharifi was forward on his last. He pulled it plenty high, plenty of speed, but he's leaving it out in front, having to dive his chest down forward to get under.
This is such an enormous lift.
Yeah, if he can make this and be a little more patient in the pull, he should put it where he belongs.
A very comfortable looking 195 from Lalayan just in the back room now. This a 5 kilo personal best for Sharifi.
Oh, it was better, but he still went forward.
Yeah, just jumped his way through. So the dream of 200 for everybody is over, but we still have so many attempts at this 200 kilo mark. It's absolutely incredible.
Davuti now with 203.
185 kilos was just snatched by Minasyan in the back room. Lasha's at 190. The bar's at 203 for Ali Davuti. This will equal his best ever, which he made actually just a few months ago in Cuba.
Yes, very strong.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Phenomenal lifting from Davuti here.
I didn't necessarily expect it, but he got it.
Beautiful
again.
lift. That was a great pull.
So really putting the pressure on.
Martrosian now asking for 205, but we have two more lifters before that. I doubt they're going to be opening.
Yeah, will they come out at
here.
205? Lalayan and Minasyan.
Both having 205 on the board.
They've both, put that in as their openers. Lasha's got 210 written in as his opener.
Oh, wow, Lalayan's coming out here.
Yeah, here we go, Lalayan. You know, he might jump to 211 after this.
That's true, he did.
And 216 for a personal best, perhaps.
Yep.
We'll see. You know, as far as technique goes, he is really up there. You know, in the world even, but certainly in this category, he moves so well.
Oh, a little off balance, but he fights it.
Yeah.
Well done.
A little bit of movement there. You know, he's still only 24 years of age. Supers tend to fully develop a little bit later in the career than these other athletes in other categories, so he's still on the up in many ways. I mean, he just is coming off the back of a personal best in a clean and jerk. Personal best total as well.
Minasyan now with 205.
Here he comes. One of the most exciting snatches in the history of the sport. The second strongest snatcher ever. Let's not forget, 217 is his best.
Wildly powerful man here. Wow.
Every time we see him recently.
So strong.
He looks great. He really does look good. We were told by ESAC that Gore had mentioned that he's in 220 shape.
I mean, that's amazing. You know, if
he seems a bit too far away to be doing that here, though, right?
He could take a 10 kilo. He could take a 9 or 10 kilo jump.
He could go to 213.
Yeah.
And then maybe to,
you know,
well, he could make a decision. Does he want 218 or does he want 220?
8 kilos at this body weight, these numbers possible. So here's the third man of Romanian origin to take a shot at 205. This is a huge personal record for him. 200 being his best just on his second attempt here. Oh, so close, but a little bit heavy there.
Well, he's one of these athletes who really fell victim to the change in Olympic categories.
Yeah.
You know, he was the second best in the world at 109, and then they removed it from the Olympics, and they said, look, you've either got to go down to 102 or move up. And, I mean, he's got some great 102s, and unfortunately they've got a great plus 109 as well, and he can't get down to 102. And
Talakhadze's moved down to 208 now.
208. He can't really beat Lalayan either. Yeah, here's Lasha Talakhadze. Huge applause for this man, the owner of all of the heaviest snatches of all time.
Yeah, this 208 potentially playing a bit more conservative game here, looking for the win.
He snatched 222 at the European Championships. He made 210 for 3 singles in the training hall.
I mean, that was
fast, right?
Well, so light.
Yeah, that looked very quick for him.
He did 210 3 times. The training hall looked just as easy.
I was nervous because I'd been told that from the back room that after every lift he was looking at his hand and he looked to be in some pain. I checked him on that lift. He didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
I don't think the torn hand is actually. I don't think that's happened, fortunately.
So Talakhadze's going to bump, obviously, here. Lalayan's put in for 212. Gore's put in for 213. Both of these lifts, if successful, would position these men for personal records, which would be enormous lifts.
A 212 second attempt.
It's huge.
Oh, we have just been we've grown so accustomed to seeing these sorts of lifts, and you know, if you're talking sort of pre-2014 for 2 decades,
yeah,
you basically never even saw this.
Yeah, I think maybe Varazdat was the only one doing.
Salimi made it
12.5.
2011.
Yeah,
did 214, but basically you just didn't see this sort of lift.
212, Lalayan.
Oh, better than his opener.
Good.
Well, that's what he made at the European Championships. He then went for
218.
It was 218, and he didn't go under it. 216, though, he might have the confidence to go for.
Well, each one of these attempts is going to move the lifter into the first place here. Gore asking for 213.
Well, he's made 215 before.
Yeah.
216 becomes historic. He joins Salimi and Krastev at the 216 mark. He'll be one of 5 athletes at that weight or above.
Minasyan's 205 was very strong.
And he looks mean.
Yeah.
He looks angry coming up to this bar.
213.
What an athlete. I think he pulled it higher
Wow.
than 205.
This is wild.
An 8-kilo jump there, Max.
Does he go for the 7-kilo jump to the 220?
He might beat Lasha in the snatch today.
You know, him moving to Bahrain has made him into a very different lifter. He's a man who wants to be a front runner.
Yeah.
You know, before he was maybe not second fiddle, but he was not the star like he is now, and he is really embracing it. 213 on a second attempt.
There's a lot of people in here staring at the scoreboard right now, trying to work out what's happening next. Lalayan's asked for 217.
Lalayan 17.
He'll become
put in for 18. Lasha at 215.
Oh my word! So just, yeah. I mean, have we seen Lasha?
Have we ever seen a
take
scoreboard?
A second attempt? Like,
have we ever seen a scoreboard with 217, 218,
and
215?
We'll probably see
whatever
once he
Lasha's
makes
third
this,
is.
it's going to be 20. No, we've never seen that. Here we go. This is 10 kilos shy of his best. He's made this internationally at least a dozen times now.
Easy.
Oh, he's so fast.
So easy.
You know, even as you said, Max, with the fact that his numbers have come down a little bit from where they were 2 years ago, you just still can't beat this guy. I mean, Lalayan and Minasyan are about to go down if they make their next 2 attempts as the 2 best, second and third best snatches ever. I mean, Gore's already got it.
But here, do we see a scenario where Lalayan's successful with 17,
18, 19?
Well, and then Gore goes for the 20,
220, and Lasha 21.
I mean, this is possible. We'll see. We'll see. Gore might play it smart here and go for the kilo win. Talakhadze at 16 still. He hasn't put in the increase. Now the loaders are
Lalayan's
on.
there. He's ready. He's waiting for the loaders. This is just a bit of context. Back in the 80s, Antonio Krastev snatched 216. That wasn't beaten for, well, 30 plus years. Well, 30 years, and we saw Salimi do it. Gore Minasyan's made 217. And Lasha, of course, 225. But Lalayan will become the 3rd best snatcher ever if he makes this lift.
217. Can he do it? Oh, so close.
It looked a little slower straight off the floor.
Just a little bit. But, you know, the last time he had a weight like that on the bar, he didn't even try to go under.
Right.
I think we're going to see Lalayan be successful with that in a future competition.
Oh, yeah.
He's working his way towards it.
So Gore, 218, I assume. He is going to do it. He's going to get a new personal best by 1 kilo. Lasha's put in for 220. Is that a change? That's a change for Gore. That's Gore's card.
220. Wow. This is the lift we wanted to see.
This is it.
220 for Gore Minasyan. This is wild.
I mean, no one's ever attempted this except for Lasha, right? No. I mean, no one's attempted this. This is it.
This is absolutely extraordinary.
When Lasha made this in 217, we assumed nobody else would ever attempt it. 6 years later, we have this man, Gore Minasyan. He's already the second best, and he is relentless in pushing Lasha, forcing him to continue improving in his career.
This will solidify him as one of the greatest snatchers ever in the history of the sport. 220 kilos. Gore Minasyan.
Can he do it?
Oh! So close.
Oh, my word.
That is absolutely wild.
What an attempt.
That bar just pulled him out of position a tiny bit. You could see it. He doesn't have the most typical pulling pattern, but that one was just a tiny bit too heavy.
Oh, and he smiles as he walks off the platform.
That man has really transformed. He's an athlete now who's willing to take shots at numbers that are just astronomical. 220.
Better and better. That is unbelievable. But here comes Lasha Talakhadze. This is probably going to seal the deal, Max. 220 kilos. This will put him 7 kilos up over Gore Minasyan. You know, as excited as we were to just see Gore attempt it then, this is even potentially more impressive if he makes this. Oh,
easy.
Put some more weight on the bar.
Yeah,
One day, maybe, he's going to show us what he's really capable of.
I mean, he could open with that weight, and it would be no more difficult.
No, it didn't look any difficult.
Yeah, what a session. What a snatch session. Never in the history of the sport have two men taken attempts at 220 kilos. Absolutely wild to see that.
Getting playful in the back there with the session doctor. Happens to be from Georgia as well.
He knew he was going to win.
Amazing.
Easy.
Well,
easy work for him.
We didn't know how well he was going to do there. I mean, we'd been told prior to this competition, prior to this session, that, was it a week ago? It was on Monday.
Yep.
7 days ago, he went to the hospital, passed kidney stones,
Kidney stones, yeah.
So he's had a pretty rough week, and then he comes and he hits 220 kilos.
That's absolutely wild. You know,
Gore's going to have to hit that soon, though, right?
We've seen Lasha, you know, if you look at the trend lines here between Lalayan and Lasha is relatively flat, and these two athletes continue to creep up and improve. I mean, that's the first time Lasha's third snatch has been the same as someone else's third. We've definitely never seen that before.
The
last several years, for sure. Absolutely wild to see that.
Something interesting to mention as well, I was just told this, is that every athlete here, bar the two Iranians, are from ex-USSR countries.
Wow. I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
Basically,
what a session. Oh, look at that, 203.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's not just the fact that he pulls it quick, but because he donkey kicks, you know, he picks his feet up and slams them. Ali Davoudi looks sort of even faster than maybe he is. Look at this opener. How high did he catch it?
I mean, it's enormously strong. He is just so wildly powerful.
The 213, I think. Oh.
Gore is a savage lifter.
Well, we've spoken about this before, but we imagine if there was a mid-thigh pull static test, he'd probably be #1 in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd be producing more force past the knee than even Lasha potentially.
Yeah, just absolutely wild how strong he is.
Look at that, 215.
There he is, the best in the world.
Now let's see how close with these other attempts. Hopefully we get some replays.
Yeah, he's got a massive lead, 7 kilos on Gore, but interestingly, 6 of 7 lifters over 200 kilos in this snatch session.
Wow.
That is wild. Just incredible.
So 6 athletes at 200 or more. I mean,
every athlete tried 200
have we
or more.
I'd love to know. I mean, has that happened before? Have we ever seen 7 athletes snatch 200? I mean, maybe, but...
You know, if it did, I'd have to imagine it was a session so long ago that it would be buried in the history books of weightlifting.
Yeah.